Hey strong people, Kalle Beck here from StartingStrongman.com. A bit of strongman news. Larry Wheels has gained a wild card guest invite to the World Log Lift Championships April 6th at the First Direct Arena, put on by Giants Live World's Strongest Man. So, I heard rumors about this about 2-3 weeks ago. Should have announced it then. Keep messing that up, trying to be, legitimate, and just then you're waiting until these things actually happen. So let's just talk about it. First off, people are complaining that others are more deserving, and this may be true, but the point of strongman since it started was let's get these strong guys from all over all these different disciplines and see what they can do. And there's still a bit of that in the sport. It has progressed a lot since 1977, but there's still that aspect. And giving out guest invites, this is not to a Giants Live competition. This is to the Log Lift World Championships, a guest lifter in one event. This is not to go to Giants Live to then top 3 qualify for World's Strongest Man. Giving out guest invites to people that, Larry's done one amateur competition where he placed second. There's some little bit screwy rules in that, but anyways, it's not unheard of. George Lehman was invited to the World Deadlift Championships a couple years ago. I think it was 2014, 15, maybe 16. Anyways, it was a couple years ago, but he didn't get on the plane. But that's just an example. He wasn't, he had a 900-pound deadlift. And if you've there's other people, Andy Bolton has done just the deadlift championships. Other powerlifters have done just the deadlift championships. I know that there's been talks of certain weightlifters doing just the log lift in the past, and they've tried to get invites, that just coming over from weightlifting. My point is that these are circumstances that have happened many times in the past with World's Strongest Man, Giants Live, and strongmen in general. I mean, Brian Siders has competed at the Arnold and World's Strongest Man despite ever doing any other strongman competitions, as far as I know. He just won the IPF Worlds a bunch of times, and I guess that was a qualifier to get in the Arnold at that point. Things should improve, and they have, and there's legit qualifying opportunities. But again, this is not for a strongman competition. This is as a guest lifter for the Log Lift World Championships. So I guess you go, well, there's other people that can lift more on a log. And yes, I agree. There's athletes that should also be there. But I don't think Larry took a spot from anyone. I think it was already decided, and people were impressed by some of the lifts he did. And here's the thing. There's other people that have lifted more, but they've lifted about the same for the last couple of years. They've lifted 430 to 440, right around that 200 kilo mark. Not past into 210, in the 460 pounds where you're starting to get into more like all-time top 10, 15 category. A lot of people get up to, not a lot, but more people get up to 200 kilos, but getting to 205, 210 in a contest is a whole different story. But with Larry, he's done the log 4 times, and he's already, looked fairly close at 190, and was a shaky at 180, but is clean bad. But it's like, where's the upside there is intriguing. And with a show, it's interesting to think, what could he do? A lot of these other athletes, we kind of know what they can do. Could they do more right now? Probably. But there's this weird, in sports, we have this fascination with, what if this person went and did that? What if this person played this other sport? And strongman has always given that to us, and it's a big part of the sport, and that's what's happening here. Whether you like it or not, that is what the sport is currently and how it's still modeled. You could say it's antiquated, and you may be right, but that's what we're dealing with. So don't say, when people say this is happening now, it's turning into whoever has the biggest social media, you haven't followed the sport for very long or can't look at it in a historical way. It's always been that. It's only recently that strongman has been its own sport. Go back and watch World's Strongest Man. It was only until maybe the 2000s that people even started to train this sport specifically. There's just shows, and if you see how people are introduced, they'd say, this guy is a 3-time powerlifting champion. This person's from Highland Games. It was getting all these different athletes from all these different avenues and seeing, what if we made them all compete in these varied strength tests? Strongman's gotten too standard in a way where now it's its own sport, and it's made it kind of boring. But that's a whole other topic. So, on to, I think the main problem is Giants Live in their first announcement, they put Larry Wheels has earned a wild card invite to the World Log Lift Challenge. They've now changed that to Larry Wheels has gained a wild card guest invite to the World Log Lift Challenge. And I think the word earned threw people off because it wasn't the right terminology, and they've even changed that. So that was one of the problems there. I think it's interesting watching Larry's video, one of his recent ones. He said, yeah, I think I'm going to do 200 in April. Where is it? I don't think he's even aware of what the Log Lift World Championships are. Sorry, there's the crazy storm going on, and you might hear some noise. I'm not even sure if he knows what it is, which makes it almost more intriguing. And people are fascinated by what someone can do. I don't see anything wrong with him going. I don't think it's taking away from anyone. I think it's frustrating if you are someone with a 200 kilogram log. Some of the athletes, but those people should also be invited. I don't think he's taking that spot away from anyone. There was not going to be another spot, but there should be more spots for some of the deserving lifters. Let's say, people that could be intriguing, like Aaron Page has a 200 kilogram log in training. Brian Benzel, Maxime Bordeaux. Sorry, I don't know how to say your last name, Maxime. But he's a strong guy in Canada. He's put up videos of just doing 430 for like speed work. He's hit 450-ish, I think, in training. Benzel's hit 450-ish. So there's strong guys out there that should also be there. But again, I don't think they were deciding between these 4 or 5 people, and they're like, oh, Larry's the most deserving. I think he got an invite because it brings an intriguing aspect to the event. What can someone who's has pressed 500 pounds on a push press and is world record holder in powerlifting, what can they do on a log with just a couple months of training? And that's what we got. And let's break that down real quick. The other people at the show include, Robert Oberst, Iron Bibby, Rob Kearney, Brian Shaw, who's actually looking very strong on the log. Shaw is, and Rob got an invite to the Strongman Champions League World Log Lift Championships a couple years back, and at that time he wasn't a heavyweight pro yet. He had just placed well at the Arnold Amateur World Championships. I think he did something around a 430-ish log there, weighing around 110 kilos, 242 pounds. And there was lifters at that time that probably had a higher competition log than Kearney. I know Obi did, and I asked him, like, hey, did you know about this? He's like, no one even asked him, and he was the American record holder. So that's the kind of things that happen. But he went and won, and Kearney was well deserving. Not comparing Kearney to Larry Wheels as far as that, just put an example. But I'm going to do my whole breakdown on the Log Lift World Championships in the upcoming weeks, but just talk about a couple considerations. So Larry had a shaky 180. The thing that throws people off is at the World Log Lift Championships, they use a wooden log, which is a lot harder, and you see all these big training numbers on steel logs in training, and it doesn't, and then the numbers are always a little flat when they use the wood log. They should use a wood log in competition, it looks better, but the two, there is a difference between lifting them, you could say, compared to using a deadlift bar and the elephant bar, maybe that big of a difference. And stability's harder, and the hardest part transferring your overall shoulder strength to a max weight log when you're talking over 200 kilos or heavy weight. So everyone struggles with the stability at the top, and the wooden log only adds to that. And that's the thing that's really, I feel, is going to hamper Larry Wheel's chance on getting 200 kilos the most. If he can address the stability at the top and get really comfortable holding weights up there, I think 200 kilos is possible. Had someone ask me if I think if he did that, if he'd be the lightest person to ever hit 200 kilos, and doing some research and asking some people, it was actually Rob Kearney when he won the log lift world championships in Lithuania. I think it was 457-ish pounds he hit, and he told me that he weighed in at 242 pounds, which is 110 kilos. So, love it or hate it, we're all going to talk about it, and that's why he's invited. It's an interesting aspect. It brings into the sport, and you have to remember, sports are entertainment, and this is a sports entertainment business. You have to think about some of the things that the UFC does, like bringing in someone like Brock Lesnar and fighting for a title, having one MMA fight. Those could be good or bad, but UFC also sold for, what, $4 billion? So you could say it doesn't build up legitimacy of the sport, but the main thing is we need eyeballs, we need people in the seats, and if having a guest lifter doing one event brings more attention onto our sport from other aspects of the sport and puts more people in the seats, that means that there's going to be more opportunities for pro strongman to keep earning a real living and having real crowds like Giants Life puts on. They're one of the only organizations that's putting on these big events in these big arenas and treating it like a real show. It's not in a parking lot. It's not in the corner of some expo with some traffic cones. It's a real event. I know I'll be watching. Usually, if you want to live stream, they're always at officialstrongman.com. I'm Kalle Beck. You can find out more at startingstrongman.com. Please let me know your thoughts on why I'm wrong or why I'm right or anything I missed in the comments below. And of course, go to store.startingstrongman.com for everything you need for the sport of strongman, from training gear to ebooks, and of course also amazon.com/shop/startingstrongman for recommended products on Amazon. Thanks for watching, and next time I'll try to be quicker and actually break the news that I already know.